All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Happy Tuesday, not Monday. Made that mistake twice already. Man, great day yesterday for the Orioles. Great day for me. Get back on track. But, I think when the game is that easy, meaning we win 11-3 and all my bets go off in the fourth inning, I want to hate like being a wet blanket about it. I don't know how else or what other analogy to use, but I want to focus on how it almost wasn't a perfect day because I feel like the perspective when you win and the perspective when you lose is the same. It's never as bad, it's never as good, right? Like you just have to realize there's a lot of luck involved and you got to be fortunate. So I wanted to focus on the fact that, if you go to the top of the fourth, so let's kind of recap real quick. The Orioles are winning 2-0. It's the top of the fourth inning. And I would say Criswell at this point, like the first inning, the Red Sox pitcher yesterday, first inning he was solid, beyond solid. It was three up, three down. And then next couple innings, it was like, we score 2 runs, going to the top of the fourth. And what happens, right? So play by play. And then for the perspective. So first two guys get on base. Devers singles, and then Garrett Cooper singles. So Red Sox got first and second, no outs. For the life of me, I'm watching the game. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, all right, why they're bunting on the first pitch? Gonzalez, who Irvin walked him, and he's the sixth hitter, so is not Aaron Judge, but at the same time, he was walked the first time. I think on 4 pitches, if I remember, and the first pitch he bunts. I'm like, the Red Sox doing? They're down 2-0. They think they're going to win this game 3-2. Like we're not going to score any more runs, regardless. And the lefties on the mound, right? So when Irvin, if you don't bump that ball all the way down first base, that's actually a relatively easy play for him to pick it up and just throw it to third base. That's where his body's leaning. Terrible bunt right to Irvin. Throws a dime. Now we got first and second, one out. And I'm trying to remember the pitch sequence. I'm almost positive that the guy, it was like a makeup call at some point because I remember Greg Olson saying it. But the Smith, the first baseman for the Red Sox, strikes out looking on a ball that's definitely off the plate. So now we got 2 outs, and then he strikes out the number 9 hitter. It's 2-0. You head to the bottom of the fourth, but it's a long inning. There was a couple mound visits. Next thing you know, Criswell comes out. It's the bottom of the fourth, and we just keep hitting the ball. Like, nobody will stop hitting, except for except for Cowser's hit where it was an error. So Mountcastle gets the double, and if Cowser just grounds out to second base, we got 1 out. Mountcastle's on third, and Westburg gets up, and maybe at this point, situational hitting. Let's just try and make it 3-0 and get out of there. Instead, it turns into the monster inning. Error on the second baseman. And if you're watching, it was just nonstop. Just to go over it, Westburg walks, Stowers hits the bases, clearing double, then Mullins triples, and it's at that point game's over, right? So it's 7-0. The Red Sox never recover. All of my bets win in the fourth inning, and it's easy, especially in this business when you're giving out your picks, because you need to brag. You need to be able to have credibility if you're selling your picks. And the thing I always talk about is everybody's going to go on a run. So yesterday is the perfect day to explain that if I'm selling my picks or if somebody was selling their picks with my 4-0 yesterday, you can say whatever you want today. You don't have to say what I just said about how Irvin almost gave up some runs and then the pitcher for the Red Sox had to sit there for a while and it messed up his momentum and then there was an error. No. You say the way you would start. I want to start screaming here at 7 o'clock in the morning, but it would be like, I fucking told you why you pay me. I am the man. Who else goes 4-0 in 4 innings? Who else can win every single bet in 4 innings? And you pound it. I can't act it right this second. I sound way too obnoxious, but it's like 3 minutes straight of that. Text messages, emails, phone calls. I'm the man. I'm the man. I'm the man. And then the brag part goes right into the sales part, which is don't miss it today. Today is even better. I got a better game, a bigger game. And how could you have a better game that went 4-0 in 4 innings? And I just keep hammering it. You have no idea. This is a source from this game. And the victim aspect, and I think I talked about this last week. What are you so you can't argue with me? I went 4-0. So you're already in my web. There's nothing that you can report back to me, or you wouldn't have bought the picks to begin with. So what I'm here to tell you is everyone's going to go 4-0. Everyone will have a day like I had yesterday. I hope I had a bunch of them, but you can't say to yourself, as much as I want everybody to listen and subscribe and be here and tell all their friends, like, oh, this guy Ryan, he's the greatest, blah, blah, blah. I would hate if somebody was like, you know what, Ryan went 4-0 yesterday. Let's see, whoever he picks in the lineup today is probably going to produce. Because as soon as you start doing that, you're cheating yourself, and you never just, I guess my rant for this morning and what I wanted to talk about is when you're investing, there's, I just want people to realize that if you want to blindly trust somebody, and probably we all do, especially if you have a significant amount of money, getting older, you got retirement money, you trust some sort of financial advisor. Just think about how much credibility that person has, that company has, before you're willing to give them your retirement money. And so there's no comparison in the sports betting world. You would have to say, Ryan, I want to see your record for the past 5 or 6 years. I want to know exactly how you came up with these bets. I want to know the formula, all this stuff, in order to properly evaluate whether or not to follow me or trust me. And I guess the whole point of the company is to tell there's nobody to follow blindly. There's people to like their opinions, and hopefully I'm at the top of it. So you want to hear what I have to say because it helps formulate your own opinion for the day somehow, some way, because that's essentially like what the news does for us. When you watch opinion news, you recognize that you're not getting the hardcore journalism, right? The guy's not. Anyway, I'm gonna start going off on that. But when you're investing and you're giving somebody the power to make a decision with your money, there's no opportunity to do that in sports betting. So this whole company and why the coaching's available, and I'm glad, a couple of you guys have taken me up on it. Hopefully, as we get closer to football season, more and more people will, because I just want to help develop a strategy. My strategy might not be, you don't have to bet the Orioles every night. That could be boring. That could be not just what you want to do. You want action. I watched the Pacers Celtics game yesterday, and I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, this is just like betting like high card with my friends when we were in high school, just flipping over cards or playing Texas Hold'em without just face up, like 100% luck, because each team is just shooting 3-pointers, pick and roll 3-pointers, 5-out offense, which means nobody's even in the paint. And it's one-on-one basketball, but it's not one-on-one with the matchups that they're supposed to guard. So everybody's just hunting for an easier matchup. And I don't know how to gamble on that. I don't know how to analyze that going into the game on whether or not they're going to make their 3-pointers. It's too hard for me which is hard to stomach, because I really wanted to give out basketball advice. I thought that's what I was frankly going to do a couple months ago when everything happened. And then I just am so turned off by it. I feel like I have no leverage, no idea on when these 3-pointers are going in. So from a strategy standpoint, once I realized this Pacer Celtics series is a 3-point shooting contest, which I pretty much knew going in, I don't see an edge. In the other series, it's almost impossible to analyze the Luka Kyrie situation because nobody can guard them one-on-one. And I'm a little surprised Minnesota hasn't played a different type of defense, because as a coach, you're like, well, how do you guard them? The only way you guard Kyrie and Luka is you just beat them up for 90 minutes, like for 90 feet. Like, you pick them up full court, you do more substitutions than them, and you just wear them out by the fourth quarter. I'm talking old school elbows here, elbows there, pushing them, messing them up, because there's no way to guard them. So you can't actually let them dribble the ball up the court and do a pick and roll and get a switch. And frankly, for Luke and Kyrie, it doesn't even matter who's guarding them. So then you just can't send the double team because they're too good at passers, especially Luka. I mean, as much as his whining is annoying, he is probably the best basketball player not named Jokic in the whole world. His vision is unbelievable. So you can't even double team him. The only way you can guard Luka is make him not want to bring the ball up down the court. Just stay in his chest and bother him and bother him and bother him, frustrate him, not let him dribble up and down the court, because he doesn't want to be picked up 90 feet. I mean, he can get through it, but not for the whole game. And either does Kyrie, really. I think the Celtics will beat the Mavericks. I'm curious to see if the Celtics will employ the defense I'm talking about, because Brown and Holiday and White, those three guys in particular, And Tatum, I guess if he really wanted to, he seems to turn up the defensive intensity when necessary. They can switch all the pick and rolls with Kyrie and Luka. And now I'm doing a Celtics Mavs preview. And this is what happens when I got nobody to talk to in the morning. I'll just keep going forever. I cut myself off. Usually I could go for like probably 3 hours and just keep going topic to topic. I try to pick a topic and stay focused. I'm so excited about the basketball that I went from the gambling and the investment. Anyway, now I'm breaking down the whole series. I didn't want to do that because we have a whole week and a half before the series starts. But I guess what I was trying to get to is it's so unpredictable with the way the game's being played, and it turns into a 3-point shooting contest in the one series, and then it's Luka Kyrie going one-on-one, and Luka making amazingly tough shots. And if they go in, they win. If they don't go in, they don't win. Like that's basically what's happening in these games. And it's hard to gamble on. And the whole point of me talking every day and having a company is to help point people in the direction of trying to find an edge. And that's why I said you can only live bet totals for the NBA. Try to find the pace of play, see what's happening as you're watching it, in my opinion. Yeah, you want to, we're in the election year, the economy, everyone has an opinion on things, everyone's investing their money. My number one advice, and I'll just keep hammering it home, is this is not an investment at all. This is completely separate. This is a entertainment product that hopefully you don't lose money with. If you make money, that's amazing. And it should be, you have to have a plan, you have to have a budget, you have to have what you're willing to lose. Because if you don't, it can turn into a problem. So as much as I am happy that I went 4-0, trust me, I'm happy. It just makes me feel better to provide the perspective, because if I didn't have this company and I wasn't talking to you guys and I was selling sports betting advice, I would sound like a crazy person. I mean, I would be blowing everybody up. I'd be making videos. You would be stuck thinking about me all day long because I went 4-0 in 4 innings. Like that's all I would say. 4-0 in 4 innings. Who does that? And that is the complete opposite of what happened. If you watch the game, you realize, man, things can happen. Like if you're actually watching the variance, the ball can do a couple feet here. It does not make Ryan a genius, and you don't want to fall victim to that. So if you bought picks before, or when we get closer to football season, now that it's, I'm not worried about hurting anybody's feelings, frankly, I have no problem exposing people in this industry. Last football season was a little dicey. Wasn't sure exactly the politics of everything, but the people that are going to pretend going into this football season that they went 70% last year, buy their season package for $499, whatever crap that they're talking about, you cannot put your foot in the door. And the reason is, as soon as you give them money, somebody there, somehow, some way, will go 4-0 like I did yesterday, and you'll want more. And they'll sell you more, and it'll cost more. And I'm excited to try to put these folks out of business. I appreciate you guys listening. As far as the Orioles game tonight, I probably won't be on the hitters. Bello for the Red Sox is actually one of my favorite pitchers. I hate saying that, but he really is. Last year watching him, I just love the way he competes. He's tough to hit for sure. He's had an interesting year. His numbers are not as good as they were last year. He's on the injured list for a minute. It's back. I'm most likely going to focus on the fact that I think this Red Sox lineup is just god awful. I mean, they just take terrible at bats. I don't know. I still can't get over that bunt in the 4th inning. That's why I harped on, because I'm like, what are they doing? If the Red Sox score a run or two and it's 2-1, maybe Criswell bears down better, but it's just they're deflated. They get in there, you get no runs, and then we just smash them. And next thing you know, they're down 7-0. I have a feeling that Grayson will be on it tonight, back at home, and I just think this Red Sox lineup will be a good opportunity for him. So I'll see what lineup the Red Sox actually put out tonight, but I don't think it really will matter. See what the props look like for Grayson, and I'll have that out to you guys in a few hours. All right, have a good day. Short week, so see you guys later. Bye.